Yeah.
Thanks for listening to the AZ Wildcats Podcast, presented by Branded Bills. Elevate your brand with Branded Bills, the perfect headwear and apparel. Use code PHNX for 20% off your first order. With Jason Scheer, the man of the, we're joined by the man that has taken college football by storm, Kenny Dillingham. Look at what's going on here right now, Coach. We've got playing possibly for a Big 12 title. You got a lot of different things going on, but I do have to ask you this. Is there maybe a little bit of an underrated aspect to how this season is played? Kev, if we could play this video first.
This is big. This is big. All right. We've got the vaunted double Del Bacon Del Taco cheeseburger. This was promised, and it was delivered as promised to the great Kenny Dillingham. He said that he would eat it. This is what we're about. Now, be honest, though. Be honest. I
mean, I don't want to.
You know, yeah. It's not filet mignon. I mean,
it's. Do you want me to be honest?
Yeah. No.
It's probably the best thing I've ever had.
This is what we're about here. This is where we bridge the divide from Tempe to Tucson.
Oh, I disagree.
Yes, exactly. Coach, very good work. We very much.
Coach, how much of that do you think played into the season's success?
Everything. Absolutely everything.
just looking at it, I just want to take a little bit of success on that. Now, let's talk about you got Arizona ASU this week, obviously. Let's talk. You grew up. You're an in-state kid. Talk about a little bit what this rivalry is, just the importance of the rivalry for schools, controlling the rivalry, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, I think it's unique just because, like, people live next to each other in this rivalry. Like, your neighbor may be a part of the rival on the opposite side, right? And that's not always the case with some rivalries. So I think that's what makes this rivalry so fun, and the history of this rivalry so fun is, it's kind of like the brotherly rivalry because how close everybody is in proximity, not just if you live in Tucson, but there's a lot of alumni, ASU and Arizona alumni that are next door neighbors to this day.
Right.
That work in the same companies. Like, you see each other every day. And I think that's what makes this rivalry so exciting and so fun is just how close everybody is to each other on a day in, day out basis.
Sure.
Coach, kind of looking big picture at the success of your program. When you first took over, is it a process where you say, this is what our identity is going to be, or do you kind of mold that around the players that you land?
100%. I think you have to have an identity of what you want. You may not be able to match your identity yet, but I think you have to have an identity for what you want and then say, okay, well, we're not there yet, but we're going to get there eventually. And the goal is to have a plan for what you think it takes to be successful and what a winning identity looks like. And I think guys like Kyle Whittingham, Mike Gundy, and I mean, the list goes on of guys who have been someplace for so long and what their identities were, that, time on task on, how to build that. And you may have to build that a little bit differently in today's day and age, but you definitely have the proofs in the pudding at places for how to be somewhere for a long time. And I took that, I stole that. I tried to, bring it here.
Right. Now, Coach, you're everywhere. Your players are everywhere. I mean, it's got very much of a community type feel to it. Was that something that you wanted to have from basically that, you wanted everybody to feel part of the program? Because at least from an outsider's perspective, it feels like that.
Yeah. I mean, to me, I'm just not a paranoid person. Right. I truly believe like somebody could come and, walk our halls and take our playbook. Like, cool. We run the power. Like, it's like, so does everybody else. They run the power. Like, we run 4 verticals. Guess what? They convert to comebacks if you're in soft coverage. So does 95% of America. So to me, it's like, we're not hiding something. I want people to see the genuineness of our program, see the genuineness of our staff, come to the practices, feel the program, feel what we're about, see the guys working their butt off. It's more, I just want to be able to showcase my players. And I think our players in today's day and age, that's what it's about. Not everybody's going to like me because I don't know how to be fake. I really don't. It's a struggle for me to like be coach talk, and like, I just struggle with it. And, but I'm always going to be about my players. Like, my only priority is my players. That is it. Everything I do is about my players.
When you first started off coaching and all that, did you think there'd come a day where you'd get in front of the microphone and say, please pay my players? Like, just the how far we've come in college football?
No, I didn't. But, that's where we're at. And I mean, I don't care if I have to beg, scratch, crawl. It doesn't matter. Once again, my job as the head coach is to help my players succeed in life, help my players succeed in football, help my players grow up, help my players get as much money as possible. Like, that's my job. Like, I'm going to do that to the best of my abilities with as much passion as I could possibly do it with.
All right, Coach, I got to ask you a question. We talked about this before the show. You, looking at your roster, looking at your two deep, you have hit the ball out of the park in the transfer portal. And looking around college football, the transfer portal is very much hit or miss. I mean, you can get some guys that, were highly rated guys, and whatever reason they go somewhere and they're just not that good. You look at it from Levitt to Scadaboo to Jordan Tyson. You go on the other side. You go to Nex Alford. You look at an Elliott. It's just going on. What are you looking for? Because you have a monstrous hit rate in the transfer portal. What do you look for when you look for transfer portal players?
People, the person. I know that sounds so cliche, right? Like,
right.
Great. He's a great person, but he can't play football. That doesn't help you, right? Like, if I'm out there playing football, like, that doesn't help us. But when you hit a certain threshold of talent, what separates people is the person, the work ethic, right, why they're coming. I don't want people to be in our program that don't want to be here. Like, do you want to be here or not? Like, I was just meeting with a kid and I said, listen, if there's doubt in your mind to come here, do not come here. Please don't come here. I don't want you. I literally just told him, I don't want you if you have doubt about being here. If it's not like, this is where I need to be. Because I think there's great power in just people all wanting the same goal. There's great power in like a group of 100 and something people. Like, this is where I want to be. Like, I wake up every day happy as crap to be here. And that I think is what fuels it all. So I would say the people, like assessing the people and then telling people, if you don't want to be here, or if we have to recruit you and sell you on something in this room right now, you should not come here. Go somewhere else. You should be selling me on why you want to be here. And I think that's just part of the culture we're trying to create, is just good people who want to be here.
Earlier today, Brent Brennan, I'm sure you know this, is really close with Marcus Arroyo. You guys just made sure that you signed him to an extension. What has Marcus meant to your program and what you guys like to do offensively?
Oh, Marcus is phenomenal. Locking him up was huge. Locking both our coordinators up were huge. And I don't do much with the offense. Like, I'll meet with the quarterbacks every once in a while, but this is his show. This is the Marcus Arroyo show. He's the one. I mean, when it was the Kenny Dillingham show, I think we were like 123rd in offense. And I was horrible. So I'm really glad it's the Marcus Arroyo show now, because he's really taken the offense to another level. And it's just huge for the program. And he's just a great person as well. And he speaks nothing but great things about Coach Brennan, not just as a football coach, but as a person. And that's why I have so much respect for Coach Brennan, is because I have somebody that I work with every single day who has the respect level for him as a person as high as anybody could talk about somebody. He speaks about him.
All right, Coach, this is something that I've never understood. When I grew up, I'm a few years older than you young buck, but I've been basically a nerd when it's come to Arizona State for the longest time. I remember in the 90s when like Bruce Snyder was here, and basically the in-state kids generally stayed home, whether that was a Sean McDonald, whether that was a Ryan Keeley, whether that was heck, even in Arizona, you got a Bobby Wade, who was the state player of the year. What has changed in the last 20 years or so? Because it can't just be TV. What has changed that it's so hard to keep kids in state? And I know that's a priority of yours, obviously, second year on the job. What has changed in that regard?
I think knowledge. I think before there was so much unknown. Like, you had no clue what it was like at pick a school that had an Arizona kid be successful. Texas A&M, Christian Kirk. You had no clue what Texas A&M was like. Now I can pick up this thing. I can Google, I can take myself on a tour, I can look at all their players, I can FaceTime the coaching staff, and the technology has allowed kids to have more access to knowledge than they did 20 years ago. So I think the access to the knowledge actually creates a bigger scope for these kids to leave, because it's not just Arizona and Arizona's like kids. That's what I mean, not university, the Arizona kids that are leaving. It's most places with a lot of recruits, those kids are leaving at a higher rate. And I truly think it's because of the access to information that those kids want to go experience something different. It looks fun. Like, seeing these other programs and seeing these other things outside the state looks different. It looks fun. They're engaged with it now on social. They could have never had that 20 years ago. So I think that's just not a Arizona high school, situation. I think that's just the nature of the world we live in, with kids having more access to knowledge.
Where does, and then I'll let Scheer go, where does Phoenix rank amongst, when you look at talent hubs around the country, where does Phoenix rank at this point, in your opinion?
Yeah, I think every year it's different. I think every, just some years it's like, holy cow, like loaded. And then other years it's like, okay, it's good. But I think that's every, place like Phoenix. It's some years it's crazy loaded. Some years it's not. Some year it's loaded for certain levels. Some years it's loaded for high-end levels. I just think it depends on the cycle.
Right. Sure.
Just kind of going back to what I said earlier, with you mentioned kind of the process and the identity. How do you urge patience in those times where, look, like you mentioned, the 123rd at offense, it may not always look great, but as a head coach, like your goal is to get there eventually.
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, we live in a microwave society. People want to pop it in, click the button one, and have their nachos, right? That's what I do when I'm hungry at night, right? Like, pop it in, cheese on the chips, and I'm good, right? And I'm full. But it's like, you have to just stay the course and believe in something. I think the one thing that's consistent in college football is consistency.
Right.
Is the programs that have the most longevity and consistency consistently win. The programs who have the most volatility over time, right, their program reflects the volatility of their coaches and their coaching staff with the reflection of wins and losses. So I think even though, for us, we were, not very good at all the last 2 years, I think the consistency of an approach slowly through time will create consistency of a program, and it's not always fun. Trust me, it was not very fun.
Coach, there's an elephant in the room that we need to address here, but first,
where is it? Oh.
Coach, you and I have talked off record about Circle K before. What is Circle? How many times do you go to Circle K this summer? How many times have you been to Circle K? Coach Kenny Dillingham.
So I used to not go to Circle K, but then Sam Levitt, our starting quarterback, signed a deal with Circle K, and I go daily. I have to stop into Circle K now with Sam Levitt's NIL deal to get me some Circle K. So, big change.
Okay. Now, think about it this way, Coach. You can also, if you're part of the inner circle, you can also get cheaper gas. You should be part of the inner circle at Circle K, though, Coach Dillingham. If you're not,
I may have to connect with Sam and try to be part of the inner circle.
You could be like Sam Levitt and join Inner Circle for free by downloading the Circle K app. Terms and conditions apply at participating locations. Visit CircleK.com for details.
Well played.
I thought it was pretty good. I'm not going to lie. I thought it was pretty good. Also, no better time. You might look at Coach Kenny Dillingham and you're like, where's that guy going to be this Saturday? He's probably going to be here in Tucson. join the PHNX watch, or we got a takeover event here to come watch ASU take on U of A. The official Territorial Cup takeover pregame party November 30th at Bourbon Bent. Check it out. You will thank me later on this. I am trying to help everybody out there, and go watch Kenny Dillingham in person. All right, Coach, a couple more questions, and then we'll let you go because we know you got a lot of things going on. Yeah, I've watched Arizona State football for about 25 years, where I've really known what I was watching. Not not at a Kenny Dillingham level, but I always thought Chris McAllister was going to be the best player that I ever saw here at the U of A. I believe it's Tetairoa McMillan at this point. When you just go against him, what kind of challenges does he present as a wide receiver?
I mean, T-Mac's incredible. Like, right. I got asked today in my press conference, T-Mac, what's different this year? I'm like, oh, you mean he's leading the country in yards? And you're asking what's different? Holy cow. Talk about, and I said it, talk about the ultimate level of respect for a player, that he is leading the country in yards.
Yeah.
And people are still asking questions. Whoa. Right. His level of respect that defenses have given him this year, doubling and bracketing, and him still being, I believe, number one in the country. I haven't looked up the stats after this week. I haven't looked at my stat book yet. I do that on Mondays, like Monday nights, but right. Is incredible. Like, it really is. His ability to beat press, his ability to win one-on-ones, his ability to make contested catches, his ability to go up for the ball, his sneaky ability to make plays with the ball in his hands for guys at that size is rare. Most guys at his size are not great ball in hand players. He is a phenomenal ball in hand player on intermediate passing game. So the kid's special. Funny story, when I got to Oregon, he was committed to us. And a day later, he decommitted. And then I had to play him for 2 years here. I really wish I would have signed him at Oregon, and he did not flip. I would not be playing him here on Saturday. So I got burned twice by not getting him.
Now, Coach, if we could play the little press conference clip we had from you from about a week ago, I think this is really fascinating, and we'll let you. I just want to get your take on this.
Out there, like I wore this shirt today, right, for the Sun Angel Collective, for a purpose. Is if you had fun watching him play and make those plays, like it was there all night. It was there all night because it's a different day and age in college football, and if that was something that we want to continue to do, then what's that saying? Pay the man his money, right? Isn't that like a saying? Like, pay the man his money. Like, pay these guys what they deserve to be paid. Because right now, our team is underpaid. And we're doing more with guys who just got it out the mud. But eventually, you should get what you deserve. And our guys deserve more. And that's why I wore this.
Yeah, like I said, I'm all about my guys. Right. Bottom line, like, do I love being an infomercial 24/7? No, but I want the best for my players. Is that a great? Do people like it when I say stuff like that? No, a lot of people hate it, right? But I don't care, because all I care about are that my players, our players, know that I am going to go to bat for them in everything I do, 24/7, all the time, whether I look like a fool or not. I don't care. Because they got to know that I have their back. And that's what that's about. It's about me telling them that, like, I got you. I'm going to do everything I can for you in every aspect. Even if I look like a fool sometimes, I am going to have your back.
Coach, I look like a fool every day of the week. Embrace it. Come on, man. Yeah. All right. All right. Yeah, for sure. Coach Kenny Dillingham, we very much appreciate it. Scheer, do you have anything that you wanted to say?
Just thank you. Thank you for coming on the show. We appreciate it.
You're the man, Coach. We very much appreciate you. And tell Doug he's not bad himself either.
I will. Y'all have a great day, and go Devils.
Can I get a back the A? Can I get a back the A?
You get a back the A from you?
I don't know about that one.
Thanks, Coach. We appreciate you, man.
Thank you.
All right.
Have a good day.
Coach. Yep. Coach Kenny Dillingham right there. A guy that just gets it. It's like I said, we get people all the time that are like, oh, you guys are you're fraternizing with the enemy. I mean, he's a cool dude, man. I mean, I don't know what else to say. I mean, you watch him and he just kind of gets it. We have Coach Brennan coming on here shortly. It will be very interesting. But first, I'll tell you what. Why don't we pay some more bills here? What do you say about that, Jason Scheer?
I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, I get it. All right. Now, you know what I'm going to do? I am going to say Sanderson Ford. Sanderson Ford. Girth. Strength. Look at this thing. Sanderson Ford right there. That thing is amazing. You could say to yourself, man, Sanderson Ford, I don't know what else to say about Sanderson Ford. Scheer, you are in that exact same boat. It's overwhelming at times.
Look, Arizona may have some injuries this weekend, but have we thought about maybe putting a Sanderson Ford just on the offensive line?
That exactly. Seriously. I mean, you look at Jonas Sabanea, first-round pick. That guy is as strong as a Sanderson Ford, and you know what? He has the future of a Sanderson Ford. Here's the deal. Get new 2024 F-150s with 3.9% APR financing for 66 months, plus up to $4,000 cash back, similar savings on over 900 new and pre-owned vehicles. Plus, get an additional $1,000 Amazon gift card on a Bronco Mach-E Lighting F-150 and Expedition on Black Friday, Saturday, and Monday. So don't miss the Sanderson Ford Black Friday thank you sale. All offers expire on December 2nd. And one other one, neutral. Now, you might say to yourself, Erica L. Day, that is somebody that is a cool person. She is much cooler than Mike, Luke, and Jason Scheer. This is very, very true. But guess what? Guess what could make us as cool as her at points, Scheer?
Neutral and more neutral.
It just is what it is at this point. Now, you might say to yourself, Kevin L. Thomas, that guy is from St. Louis, right? So is Neutral. Check it out. Neutral, keep it tasty, enjoy responsibly. 2024 Anheuser-Busch Neutral, flavored vodka and carbonation, St. Louis, Missouri. Again, keep it tasty, keep it toasty, Neutral. All right, now, oh no, not this thing again. All right, there we go. I'm going to fix this. All right, either way, Neutral. I hate when this thing happens. All right, hold on. All right, well, anyways, Scheer, it'll go away in a second. Let's talk about now. We got to get Coach Bro. There we go. I fixed it on myself. Coach. Wait, no, I am. I'm basically, I'm a tech wizard at this point.
God.
Now, I got to give, and we're going to give this, I got to give Coach Brennan a lot of credit for coming on here, everybody. Now, again, this is going to be a respectful interview. We're going to ask hard questions, but everybody in there, be nice in the comments. Please, be nice. Because, again, he's a good dude, but at the same time, no. But at the same time, got to be respectful. So you got to...
I give him a lot of credit. I think even some people were surprised. Like, I think one thing that people need to know about Brennan is, like, he knows what kind of season Arizona's having, and he knows what kind of questions people are going to ask at times. So I give him a ton of credit here for coming on with us in a few minutes.
Yeah, we're going to give him a lot of credit for that. And again, this is also something, too, that I always tell people this. I always get people who are like, this is still sports. This is still sports. This is not the biggest, at the end of the day, we've always said that he's a good dude. So at the game of life, you know what? Probably rather be Brent Brennan than Mike Luke. How about that? Well, I think everybody'd rather be themselves than Mike Luke.
Come on, Mike.
Yeah, I know. But either way, that's kind of where it is. All right, but we're going to give him a lot of credit on this when he comes on. Now, Scheer, let's preview this rivalry game a little bit here. Listen, anybody that says that there's no chance that either side could win, they haven't watched this rivalry. Yeah. They don't know it, and it's an underrated rivalry, Jason Scheer.
I love it. I mean, it is vicious, and I don't think people understand how vicious it is until you're a part of it. Like, I don't think Jed, for instance, understood this rivalry in the slightest until he coached on it. And there are people, whether you agree or not, and it's not even a Brent Brennan issue, that it says, look, I'll take a winless year as long as we beat ASU. And I'm not like that in terms of big picture and stuff like that, but there are absolutely people where, like, you could change the whole course of the season if you beat ASU. That's how much it means to a lot of people in town. But, man, I mean, like, how many fun games have been a part of this rivalry?
Oh no, there's been. And again, I've been at many of these ones. Exactly. I always think about our good pal Kelvin Efon. And I've said the show on the radio a bunch before, but on Arizona's 12-1 season, Kelvin Efon was at midfield, and he was telling those ASU guys. He says, "You guys know what's about to happen to you." And again, it's an underrated rivalry. It really is. I think we'll ask Coach Brennan, because here's the thing about it: both sides have ammunition on each other, and and both sides actually despise each other. That is, I think, what is an underrated aspect to all of this, Scheer, is that both sides do hate each other. And again, and they're kind of close. Again, I get historically ASU's got more, although we have the head-to-head matchup. But I get it. But it's still, at the end of the day, it's competitive, though.
Well, I think what Dilly said was right on the money. Like, you're what? You're 80 miles away. Like, you're a little over an hour away. Like, your next door neighbor may have gone to ASU, or if you're in Phoenix, your neighbor may have gone to Arizona. You're around people at work every day that go to the other school and all that. Like, this means a lot. Like, this is it's a rivalry where no matter what team that wins, you're going to hear about it until they play again.
Right. Yeah, there's bragging rights that are involved here, Scheer. Right now, though, we are on a 2-game winning streak, though.
And I will say, and we've been saying this, should Arizona win, it would probably be one of the funniest wins of the rivalry history.
Right. Yeah, we're going to ask
the idea that, like you said, the idea that it's like there's one team that can't win. No, I mean, we've seen just stupid stuff. We saw a dude kick an extra point off another guy's head, for God's sakes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, the Zendejas era. That was amazing. Yes, no, exactly. Was that the game where, like, Zendejas then went into, like, he started blaming everybody, and, like, Colin Baxter went up to him and said, "You'll not do this in the locker room"?
Yeah.
Yes. That is the, man, Eduardo Arvayo definitely killing us right now.
Yeah, he's very, I don't understand. He's so upset we're doing this interview that he's been watching the entire interview.
Yeah, no, exactly. Well, either way, now, as far as a key to the game here, I am at the point with this. And again, I am not an X's and O's guy. I understand that. Throw it to T-Mac early, throw it to T-Mac often, Jason Scheer. Listen, he looks a little banged up, obviously, but the guy is still an absolute monster, though. What we've watched has been something that, what we've watched has been something that we might not ever see. I was talking with Tony Gimino, that loser. And Tony Gimino said, he goes, that that's just a revolutionary talent. There's really no other way to put it. He said, and I think that's kind of where it's at with him. He's a talent that we will likely never see again, Jason Scheer, no matter what Justin Spears says.
Yeah, I mean, that's what's scary. Like, and I would say this for any team outside of like the Georgias and Alabamas of the world. Like, I think ASU would say it with Scat. Like, you lose guys, and it's like, how are you going to replace someone that is that talented? Mm-hmm. It's not easy to do. Like, you just don't be like, look, T-Mac's good, but we're going to bring in this guy. Like, these guys for that school are like, they're generational players. Like, they just don't grow on trees. You just don't go out and land a T-Mac or a guy that's one of the leading rushers in the country. It doesn't happen. And so I think that part of it is like, look, like, I know people are down on the season and all that, but I hope on Saturday, no matter what the score is, they do take a minute to go, man, look who we got to watch play.
I'm going to throw up at the end of the, I didn't mean it like that. I'm going to, at the end of the interview though, Kevin L. Thomas, this is for you. I'm going to offer to get Brent Brennan a Del Taco double Del. And
I have the biggest. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. What's the biggest thing?
I was looking up we were talking about silly games. I went in and I told Brian Peterson, my stat guy. 2004, Arizona was 14-point underdogs and won 34-27. Mm-hmm. The only other double-digit dogs winning, Arizona 2011, Arizona 1997. So
1997.
It's happened before.
I was at the 1997. I was at that. I believe that was the New Mexico Bowl. I think our good pal Kelvin Efon was actually the MVP of that game, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, Justin Spears is here again. Listen, man, with all that team, what do we even say about Spears at this point?
Has he met Erica?
Have you met Erica L. Day, Justin L. Spears? This is a yes, exactly. Just wanted to make sure we will see.
Lose, Erica? Did UConn lose? I think UConn basketball just lost, man.
UConn's playing right now? I didn't know they were playing right now.
All right. No.
All right. It looks like we got Coach Brennan here. All right. Let's add Coach Brennan. Hello, Coach Brennan. How are you doing?
What's up, y'all? How you guys doing?
Hey, Coach.
Not too bad.
Yes.
First of all, I got to give you a ton of credit for coming on here, and I'm going to say this. We're going to ask some tough questions, obviously, but you are the head coach of a Power 4 football team. I am a podcaster out of the guest room in my house. So we start under that. To premise.
You're wearing the right hat.
Yeah, no, exactly. I'm wearing the right hat. All right. Now, Coach, Arizona ASU, what does this game mean? Obviously, it's a good team you're going against. You got, obviously, this could be a way to maybe, get a win going into the offseason. Where are we at with this game, Coach?
I think this game is just so much more than a normal football game, right? Like the history of this game, the incredible battles that have come before me being here, just how much everybody in the state, everybody at this university, on campus, in the city of Tucson, it's such a big deal, and it's something that everybody looks forward to year round. And you can feel the intensity, the tension, the hatred between the two schools. It's fun to be a part of it.
Sure.
Coach, with this rivalry and kind of focusing on it, is there one memory that kind of sticks out? I know obviously you have the family connection and all that, but is there one memory that kind of introduced you to this game?
Well, it's funny, earlier in my press conference, I mentioned, having been here for a couple of them. But just, I think for me, just with my brother playing here and watching those games or being here for those games, being a part of some really memorable, games against ASU. I think about, in 98 when, my brother had to recover the onside kick. I think it was it was a crazy score, like 50-48 or something. Or
Trunk Candidate had 288 yards on one carry, Coach.
Yeah, no, it's just an incredible, just the history of it, how many great players and great coaches have been a part of it on both sides of the field. And it's just really special to be a part of it. And I think about that game, post game, there's a picture here in my locker room. The students rushed the field, and somehow, my very idiot brother ended up on the goalpost in his uniform, and right. So it's just like a hilarious, memorable moment for me.
All right, Coach, first year, go ahead, Scheer.
Yeah, big picture. Is there anything, and I know the season's not over yet, but is there anything that has surprised you about this job?
I think there's always things that surprise you anytime you take over a new job. There's things that you couldn't have known about until you're sitting in the chair. But I think the cool thing that I've been able to experience on a much bigger level now that I've been here for a while is how much the city is and the city and the university are just so integrated, right? I feel like the city the university is kind of the heartbeat of Tucson. And, I didn't have a great understanding of that, even though I was a GA here for a year. I was a much younger person and obviously not in the role I'm in now, but just how special that is, being in a town that's relatively big in population, but still feels small, where the university is the absolute epicenter of everything that happens here.
Coach, offensively, it's been kind of a struggle this year. What do you kind of attribute that to, and what do you want the identity of the offense to be?
I'm always going to want our identity to kind of move with our personnel, right? Like that's something that, there's been times where we've been an outstanding passing team. There's been times where we've been a really good running team. It depends on what that is. I agree. We've been trying to find that all year. There hasn't been nearly as consistent as I would like it to be, or any of us would like it to be for that matter. But I think, I'm going to be a team that's going to want to throw the ball down the field, right? Like that's something that's important to me. I think it's a fun way to play football, distributing the football to as many people as you can. But I think you have to have good running attack to help offset some of that, right? Like if you don't have, I'm not talking about balance. I think balance that gets thrown around too much, but you have to have at least a counter punch, right? In terms of the run game. And, that part has not been strong enough for us. And so, as we continue to evolve and continue to evaluate, we got a lot of work to do. And I think the fact that we get to play one more and the game means so much is another opportunity for us to go out there and show what we can do.
If you could go back and kind of do that, knowing what you know now, what would you do differently about this offense? Because like we said, it has struggled.
I think there's multiple things that are complicated there, right? I think, we've had to shuffle the deck, far more than I would like in the offensive line. And that makes it complicated, when you're trying to get consistency and high level performance, in that space. Recently we've been playing a little bit more ball on the perimeter, but really it depends on who we're playing and kind of what they give us. And if I could go back and say, I would like to do more of this, I would probably say I would like to make sure the ball goes down the field more often, like throw the ball over people's heads.
Right, sure.
When you look at this team next season, like we're coming down again on the last game, Should people be prepared personnel-wise to see a very different team than what they're going to see on Saturday?
Jason, I think that's college football. I think that's everywhere. I don't think that's specific to the University of Arizona. I mean, look at the ASU team, right? What is it? 19 or 20 of their starters were portal kids, right? Like, it's just there's so much change year to year in the world we're living in, and because it's new, and because we're stepping out of NIL and we're going into rev share, and there's so many moving parts that I think you're going to see a lot of rosters have massive overhauls. And I think the important thing for us is making sure that we do a great job retaining our best players, and I think that's where we need to start.
Now, with there's been, as far as like the staff, what are you looking at then? This coming off season for next year. Do you have the staff in place you want? Are there going to be changes? Where are you looking at with that?
That's not something that I would talk about right now. That's something that we'll do after the season. You know what I mean? We're going to continue to evaluate that, but that's been a constant evaluation. I've had really good conversations with our administration and with guys on the staff here about what's been good and what hasn't been good enough. And everybody's on the same page, and we have good alignment that way. And so, that's something that as we get through the season, because I know it hasn't been what we want it to be. Like that almost goes without being said, right? So how do we get us in a spot where we can play the kind of football we want to play?
Right.
Will your vision for the portal be different this year than it was last year?
Well, last year we missed the first portal window, right? And then we experienced the head coaching portal window where, everybody could recruit our players, but we couldn't recruit off other people's rosters, right? Just the way that works out. So it's just, that part of it, whenever there's a head coaching change, it's that 30-day portal window. So during that time, so much of our time was spent on retention. We had felt good about the players that were here. Obviously, they'd had a great season last season, and so there was so much emphasis put on the retention of the current roster here at Arizona. And then later in the portal, that part of it became, okay, coming out of spring practice, where do we think we have some spots where we need to find somebody to kind of fit in here or fit in there? I think this is different because we're going to have a full cycle. We're going to be here for the initial portal. We're going to be here to have the conversations with our players, because I'm sure there's going to be a player or two here that's going to want to try something out somewhere else. I think that's just the nature of college football right now. And as challenging as that is for all us old heads to figure out or to think about, it's just the reality of it. And there's nothing we can do about it. So how do we find the best way to move forward with the right people, all, rowing in the same direction?
What do you attribute all the injuries to this season?
Honestly, like misfortune, like so many of them were contact injuries. And I think that's been something that we've done, to the credit of our training staff, our strength staff, and our administration here. We did a deep dive into all the data we have. We have a ton of information on, output of these players day in and day out, through every workout, through every lift, through every practice. And we did a deep dive into all that stuff. And I think when we looked at it, we felt like the pendulum swung really far the wrong way for us this year, where last year was one of the healthiest seasons the Arizona program had had in years, So I think that part of it, as challenging and as disappointing as that is, a silver lining is that there's lots of young players that got to get in the game and develop and get better. And so I'm optimistic about moving forward with that.
Is it more like with the strength and training, talking with some people, is there more plyometric based and heavy lifting going in as opposed to just kind of what it was last year with heavy lifting? How do you balance that out?
Well, everything is about, like, every training session is specifically designed for each athlete, right? So there's going to be some core principles that are always going to be part of us in that space. But there's definitely going to be stuff that we're trying to develop explosive movement and ability to stop and start, and what kind of knee bend are we playing with, and what kind of knee bend are we training with, and putting our players in the situation where they're going to be doing the movements and the explosive movements that they're going to do come game time or come practice time, so that they start to build that muscle memory and the strength in those areas.
Right. Sure.
I asked Kenny something similar, but years ago, if I would have told you that coaches would be getting in front of microphones and asking people to help pay their players, what would you have told me?
I would have said no way. Depending on how long ago you asked me that, I would have said no way, because for so long as a coach or as an alum or a donor, you couldn't even buy a kid a cheeseburger. Right now you can buy a kid a Ferrari. You know what I mean? It's just such an incredible, like, how much change has happened in so little time. And it's really and it's a complicated process because everybody's doing the best they can, but it changes every day. And it's really a unique situation for all of college athletics, not just for football. everybody's having to navigate this tricky time. But I think, if you asked me that 10, 15 years ago, I would have said that will never happen, and to me, it's long overdue, right? It is what it is. But because of that, now we're left in kind of this space where there is not a lot of clear regulation. There's not a lot of clear guardrails to protect the game of football or to protect the game of women's volleyball or whatever sport we're talking about, right? It's not specific to football. But I think, like, for me and for Kenny, I saw his interview. Like, I agree. Like, how much can we stand out in front of people, stand in front of a microphone, and ask them to step up for these young people? Because there is a direct correlation between success and the level of talent you have in your program. And I think that part of it is everyone's trying to increase their talent every day, right? Whether it's through training and development or it's through acquisition. And so how much can people on the outside continue to step up to support the endeavor of being a great college football team at the University of Arizona?
Coach, one thing I'm going to say is you come off very well. People like you. I'm telling you, you got to get out of the community more. I know you've said in the past that it's not necessarily the head coach's job. You got to get out of the community.
I've never said
like
that.
This stuff.
I've never said that it's not the head coach's job.
You said, yeah. I think you said,
Kevin, can we pull the quote up?
Yeah.
Let's go with the quote. Let's go with the quote.
Okay.
I think it was more of me representing our program. I leave the marketing to people with degrees and masters and PhDs and experience in that line of work. I'm on a microphone a lot. I'm out and about. I'm going to try everything I can to get our team ready to play and get us in a great spot, ready to play a really great football. I'm going to trust somebody who is better at marketing than I am. Coach, you are the marketer. I'm telling you, you are the head coach.
I hear you, but are you saying, like, in terms of me, like, coming on podcasts or being available to the media?
No, people love it. What you did the other day by, with the kids waiting for the Duke game, the basketball game, Coach, that was fantastic. People loved that. I can't tell you how many people DM'd me saying it was awesome meeting you. That's the kind of stuff. This is a college town. People love
I get that.
Stuff, Coach.
I get that, and I am down for it 100%. Honestly, I am absolutely down for any of that. And really, I felt like my first 6 months, outside of working hard to retain the roster here at Arizona, like, I was out so much. Like, it was 7 nights a week, because my family was back and forth in California. And so it was just me out here. So, I was with development. I was with Desiree. I was with, we were in California. Like, we were all over the place meeting people as much as we could. So I'm all for it. Like, I'm one of those head coaches that actually – I like people. I enjoy being around people.
You come off well. You come off well.
I don't know about that, but, like, I like it. So I'm down. I'm ready.
Right. I'm telling you, though, just do stuff like things like that. This community eats it up. Well, I always say this is the biggest small town in the world where everybody knows each other. Everybody's going to have a story. Like I said, I got 3 Twitter DMs from people saying, I met him. He's a good dude. I'm telling you, people love that stuff, Coach. More of it. It'll help out everybody.
I'm with you. Amen.
Right. Now, Scheer, what you got?
I was just saying your message, obviously you expectations and all that. What is your message to this fan base in terms of having confidence next season?
I think the biggest thing is that they hired me to do a job here, right? And it's not a 1-year job. And, and trust me, I'm more frustrated and disappointed than anyone else out there. There's no one that feels it on the level that I do. And so, but I've also been through tough times as a coach before, and I've built programs before, and I know what it feels like, and I know the right steps to take, and I'm confident in the process to get it done. Now, we got a lot of hard work, and it's going to start, as soon as we get through the season, because we're going right into National Signing Day. We're going right into the opening of the portal, right? Like, so all those hard questions and the chaos of roster management and the shuffling of the deck and all those things that are going to happen, like, we're going to have to roll up our sleeves and go to work. But I believe in our process. I believe in the people that are in this fight with me. And I think we got great leadership from our AD and our president. And so as long as we have those things and we have an alignment there, we can build something really special here at the UofA.
What are you looking for next year? Obviously, I mean, T-Mac most likely moving on. Noah's taking a little bit of a step back, but we all know how good Noah is. What are you looking for next year from him? What do you want that? And how do you replace a guy like T-Mac, theoretically, if he were to leave?
Yeah, theoretically, if T-Mac were to leave, I don't think you replace a player like T-Mac. In my head, he's a generational player here. I think about the great receivers that have come through here in the past that are his level players. And
there are none. It's him.
Yeah, I mean, he broke Bobby Wade's record. Bobby Wade played here 25 years ago, right? So if that's the gold standard, right, like that's a long time in between there. But I do think that you can replace that production by committee. And, one of the things that I've always believed in the receiver room, and I don't know if I'm just lucky or if I know what I'm doing at that receiver room, but every school I've ever coached at, I've coached half of the top 10 in the history of the school at that position. Going back 25 years, Cal Poly, San Jose State, Oregon State, San Jose State again. And so that's a position that I have a lot of confidence in the evaluation process and the development process, which is what I still believe college football is about, development. I know we're getting a little more mercenary. I know we're getting a little more plug and play. I don't think it's always that easy. And I think that, I believe the core foundation of our program here is going to be players that we evaluate, recruit, and develop over time. And they explode into these great players at some point in their career. And, so having the right pieces in that room, I feel really good about where we're at in the recruiting process at the receiver position. But then we're going to add some more pieces as we go, right? This shuffling of the deck that is coming. We're about to go into the craziest time that anyone has ever seen in college football. And it's going to be awesome and it's going to be insane. And so that's what we got to be ready for.
Yeah, exactly. Now, at the wide receiver position, obviously, like you said, you got T-Mac. There wasn't really somebody. Chris Hunter has emerged very nicely in these last couple games, but there hasn't been a ton of other help there. How do you fill out that room then and get a little bit more productivity?
Well, I think that's a combination, right? That's a combination of continuing to develop some of the young players that are in that room. Obviously, Chris Hunter is really making great headway right now, so we're fired up about that. And I give Coach Wade a ton of credit there, but then the recruiting process, right? So finding the right high school players that have the talent level where they can come in and play as freshmen. I do think at the receiver position, that's one position where you can actually play early, and it's maybe not as demanding as playing in the offensive line or playing at quarterback as a true freshman or something or in the secondary. But I do believe you can do that at receiver. And then I think we got to be honest and look hard in the portal and see what we can't find there to also. Because I also want to elevate the competition in that room, right? Because for so long, T-Mac has been the guy, right? Last year, Jacob was a really good player, but he was not T-Mac, right? I want to elevate the competition in that room to where every day those guys are slugging it out and feeling the pressure of all those reps so that when they get to game day, it's just easy. I want that competition to be fierce in that space for us.
What should fans look for next year? What are you the product on the field? What are you looking for? What should they look for next season?
I think they should look for a team that looks like they're having fun playing football and is explosive on both sides of the ball. And that's something that there were moments of that, but not enough this year. And I think that's the hard part is even when I think back to our game this past weekend, we had chances to keep that thing close, but we just didn't make enough plays at the right time for that, right? We didn't answer. The defense gets a stop and then the offense goes 3 and out, or the offense scores a touchdown and then we can't get a stop. Playing that complementary football, but I want it to be fun to watch. And I want people to fill this stadium and be excited about Arizona football, not just here, in the city of Tucson, but in the state of Arizona and all over the country.
Coach, I have a good luck charm for you.
Okay.
Good luck charm. All right, now, this worked for Kenny Dillingham this offseason when I talked with him at Big 12 Media Day. If we could show this, Kevin Thomas, this happened at Big 12 Media Day. Watch this.
This is big. All right. We've got the vaunted double Del Bacon Del Taco Cheeseburger. This was promised, and it was delivered as promised to the great Kenny Dillingham. He said that he would eat it. This is what we're about. Now, be honest, though. Be honest.
Certainly got the ability to do that.
I don't want to.
Yeah. It's not filet mignon. I mean,
do you want me to be honest?
Yeah. No.
It's probably the best thing I've ever had.
This is what we're about here. This is where we bridge the divide from Tempe to Tucson.
Oh, I disagree.
Yes, exactly. Coach, very good work. We very much appreciate it.
Coach, the double Del Bacon cheese.
Is that a Del Taco burger?
Yes, it's Del Taco burger. I don't eat any of the Mexican food at Del Taco, but I eat the burger. Here's the deal, Coach. I'm going to bring you this one. I'm going to bring you this one sometime this week, and we could video you eating it. I'm telling you, it's good luck, and the people will dig it. Telling you.
I'm down.
All right.
I've had 1,000 Del Tacos.
I was gonna say you're a California dude. You've had Del Taco before, right?
Like 1,000,000 times. Yeah, that was like one of the late night go-tos. You know what I mean?
Have you had the double Del? The
I've
double
not
Del
had
bacon
Taco
cheeseburger. Oh, Coach, that
Yeah.
is we got it. We got to get that inside. We got to get you to consume that this week.
That's the go-to.
Yep, that's what it is. It's good luck.
Is that
I'm
your
telling you, it's
go-to,
good.
or that's just the go-to at Del Taco? Are you like
No.
claiming it should be called Del Burrito or Del Burger? Like,
Yes,
should we
no, it
choose-
is mine.
It's way better than Mexican
It-
food there.
People don't. Yeah, I don't really like the other stuff. People don't understand the power of this, though. And like I said, Dilly knows that this had something to do with it. So again, I'm going to spread the magic to you. I will bring it to you this week, Coach.
I appreciate it. Let's go.
Yeah. All right, Coach. I got to give you a ton of credit for coming on. This was very fun. And like I said, you come off well. Show it. Show it. You were great, my man.
Awesome.
Appreciate
Great
it,
talking,
Coach.
guys. Good to see you.
Thank you.
All right. Appreciate
down.
you. That's bear down. Back. Hey, can we get back the A?
What's that?
Can we
Can we
get
get a back the A?
Back the egg.
Back
Come
the
on.
egg.
What are you talking about?
Excellent, excellent, excellent. We
Let's
got
go.
it, Coach.
Let's
Coach,
go.
very much appreciate you, and I will be bringing you the Del Taco bacon cheeseburger. Yep, there you go, my man. Appreciate you,
All right.
dude.
Happy Thanksgiving.
All right,
You too.
Coach
Thanks,
Brennan.
Coach.
Yep, Coach Brennan, right there. Again, it was awesome.
I told you, Mike, like, and it's what we've talked about. Like, he's a super likable guy. Like,
Yeah,
he's a
for
really
sure.
good dude.
Right. And I know that was really, I mean, that was, there's a lot to take. There's a lot to take from that. Now, I will say this before we also got to pay the bills though, as well before this. Now let's pay the bills here. Let's say wave time. Let's do it. Gila River Resorts and Casinos. Woo! Everybody get in the wave. Gila River Resorts and Casinos. All right, check it out again. Oh, the camera again. I don't like that. Now, what kind of experience is the Gila River Resorts and Casinos? What kind of experience is it, Scheer?
Fun and immersive.
Yes, now check it out. Fun and immersive. The Gila River Resorts and Casinos. You might say to yourself, Mike Luke, there's nothing about Mike Luke that is cool. You are correct. There is nothing about Mike Luke that is cool, but guess what? I could probably be a little bit cooler at the Gila River Resorts and Casinos. Everybody get the wave in. We're light on wave support right now. Come on, Erica. That's not a real wave. It is fun and immersive. Again,
Erica's down bad right now. Erica's down bad.
Oh,
Memphis
cares?
lose the lead.
All right. Yeah, there you go. Back the A-Ray. That was incredible. Now, also, besides just the Gila River Resorts and Casinos, you might say Victor Yates in there. Palo Verde's finest Victor Yates. Yes, exactly. Palo Verde Titan. But you know what can make Victor Yates even cooler? Maybe even cooler than he is already? Branded Bills.
Yes.
Can you imagine Victor Yates wearing a branded Bills? There are some things in life that are just not the same. After that, branded Bills, though, check it out. All right, now, you might say to yourself, who else wears branded Bills? Kevin L. Thomas wears branded Bills. This is very, very true. Victor Yates already in there saying branded Bills is where it is at. Head to brandedbills.com and use code PHNX for 20% off your first order. Branded Bills. Oh, Kevin L. Oh, look at this. Look at what we got here. Oh, man, that. You know what I like about those branded Bills? Look at that thing.
The mobility,
oh my gosh.
mobility, Mike. The mobility.
Right. Yeah, that the girth of that hat, the strength is, I don't know if it's girth or not, but either way, check it out. Check it out, Branded Bills. All right, now let's talk a little bit about Brennan. I'm telling you, he comes off well. Coach should do more of that stuff. That was good stuff.
Yeah, and he gave some interesting answers. Like, I don't blame him. He's not going to announce any staff changes. We knew that. We were more curious about his answers. He's not, but knowing that you should get out in the community more, knowing that, it's – look, he did well. I think he did fine. The reality is I know some people on the side are like, oh, you weren't hard enough.
I know.
You're not gonna win everybody over, but I legitimately, no BS, I thought he came across really well in the interview.
And here's the thing is too that I'm going to keep telling people again. At the end of the day, I put out there a billion times. He's obviously a good dude. So again, we're not going to come on here and just throw like personal shots at, he came on the show and he answered. I don't think we left any question on the table that, wasn't going to be asked. So, again, I give the guy a lot of credit. Kevin L. Thomas, I give you credit as well.
Oh, I appreciate the credit that I do not deserve. But I have a question for you, Mike Luke. Is this the greatest day in Mike Luke history? Kenny Dillingham comes on the show. relives the double Dell moment, tells you how much he loves Circle K. His number one quarterback is sponsored by Circle K. And then the following interview, you got the UofA coach who comes on and says, I love Del Taco. I'm all about Del Taco. I've had Del Taco all the time.
I knew Brent went to the Del Taco, dude. We discussed this the other day.
But he hasn't had the double Del, though. He hasn't had the double Del.
That's where you come in. That's where you come in, Mike Luke. He needs you. We all need you.
Miles Simon loves Del Taco.
Yeah, there's no way Kevin L. Thomas knows who Miles Simon is. No way. Do you think?
I do know
who
who
Miles
Miles Simon is.
Who is Miles
That's
Simon?
Insane. What do you mean who Miles? Like, I know who Miles Simon is.
He knows
Basketball
Miles
player
from the shot against Cincinnati. That's
the basketball player Miles Simon.
Yeah, all right, that was good. That was good.
All right.
I will
are
give you that.
we on the same page here, Mike? Like, what is happening?
All right, just
I
wanted to make
I
sure
also
Kevin
have a
L.
degree
Thomas.
from the U of A. Like, come on.
Yeah, but
Mike.
people like you don't even know who Erica
Erica doesn't know who Miles Simon is.
Yeah, they don't even know who Joe Pesci is.
I know.
How do you not know Joe
That's
Pesci
also
is?
not true. I know who Joe Pesci is.
Yes.
What I said is I couldn't pick Joe Pesci out of a lineup, which is fair. He's an actor. Your job is to be someone else.
He's like
That's a problem.
4'11".
That is a problem.
Out of a lineup of 1,000 people easily.
All right. Yes, that was a problem. That is a problem. Yes.
What happens if you bring him the double Dell on a Wednesday and then Arizona proceeds to win by like 3 touchdowns?
At that point, hey, do I get credit or do I get blame?
You get credit, and Del Taco needs to start paying you. I'm just going to leave it at that.
Yeah, people don't understand that. I don't get paid by him. It's just,
No.
but I'm gonna get yelled at after the show. But I don't. Whatever. I deserve it.
Whatever,
but we are going to record this. This will be happening this week. Erica L. Day, you can record it and maybe make a TikTok out of it. Also, a TikTok. Also, now you might say, I want to hang out with these people before the Arizona ASU game. Duh. All right, now, the official PHNX Territorial Takeover. Now, here's the great deal. If you already have tickets, then guess what? You can still come and you can still drink and eat with us. Those packages are on there. Those packages are available. And then Erica L. Day will be entertaining everybody, maybe in between ripping vapes, in between bites. I don't know. That was very funny, Kobe L. Thiel. But, yeah, today was a good day. Today was a very, very good day. And I think what people also need to understand at the end of the day is that this is still sports. I think way too many people don't get that and don't understand and appreciate that. It is sports. But yes, it's Kevin L. Thomas, not Kevin, or it's Kevin L. Thomas, not Kevin A. Thomas. Okay, Scheer. I do think that it's interesting, though. The one thing that I am going to continue to say, we are in totally a different era now when it comes to NIL. Yeah. You have got to, I mean, the way that Dilly pushes that NIL, that's what you got to do. I was actually fascinated too that he said our guys aren't paid enough. I thought that was a fascinating aspect as well.
Yeah, there's not a coach in America that'll say his guys are paid enough, though, Mike. Like, because that's what you have to do. You have to pay them more and more and more in order to keep. Like, you don't think as soon as that season ends that an SEC school's calling Jordan Tyson up and offering him $750,000?
Yes. Now, I do think that. Now, let me ask you this: do you think that there's a way that we can promote myself to get more money?
Yeah, absolutely.
We need to promote myself. Anybody out there, we should promote Mike Luke. I don't know how to promote him. Hey, promote like
Mike
the biggest
needs
league.
more money, folks.
Yeah, promote. Yes, exactly. I am in my guest room doing this show at the time. I am not a Power 4 coach.
Mike is actually in the living room next to me. Mike lives with me.
Yes, no, exactly. And Ted Wardo is not anywhere to be found, by the way. But, man, but that was so happy about. I got to play that double Dell, or I got to play that thing twice. That was so good. So good, so good. Okay, now, are the Scheers coming? Scheer, this is a great question. You guys should come for a little bit. I know you got to go up to the press box.
Where is it?
It's just at Bourbon Bend.
We'll try.
It's right it's on University.
What time does it start?
Hey, I don't know. What time does it start? I should know this. It doesn't say on there. All right, the game's at what? The game's at what? What time is the game at? 1:30. All right, let's say start time is what? 10:30. How about we go 10:30?
I might show up. It's a possibility.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Maybe
we did have the kettle corn yesterday. It was very good.
Yes. Okay. Maybe 10:30. Okay. On that note, though, very, very much appreciate all of you guys. This was a fantastic. It is very, very good. Oh, Kevin, I know June L. Thomas. I know it's Kevin A. Thomas, but I like saying Kevin L. Thomas because
if you can maybe text us the birth certificate, that would be great.
Yes, exactly. We demand proof on the L in there. Kevin Lorenzo Thomas. Very cool. That'd be a great name, Lorenzo. Well, that's Erica L. Day's middle. Oh, by the way, join us over on phnx.com. Is that right, Kevin L. Thomas? We're gonna go a couple minutes over here. Hold on, Kevin L. Thomas.
It's gophnx.com.
Go phnx.com.
Oh, yes.
Join us there. Join us there.
Join us.
Yes, exactly. Now, board game guy, Luke went from Brennan basher to Brennan apologist in less than 20 minutes. No, I didn't, dude. I asked all the hard questions. I'm not going to be a jerk about it. I mean, he was a good dude. He came on here and he answered it. Right? I mean, he answered. I don't know that
you don't have to agree with the answers, but
yeah, it is what it is. He came on here. I don't know what else I was. I don't know what else I'm supposed to say on that one. But yeah, I am going to stand on business. Okay, yeah, man, you don't know me.
Yeah, man.
But by the way, I'm going to have succotash for dinner. I've decided I am going to. I just found out what succotash is the other day. I'm going to have succotash.
This is Mike's new furry, succotash.
Succotash.
Me up and it's like, what is succotash? Have I had succotash?
Well, Victor, I'm not going to say that. Come on, dude.
Yeah, Victor knows. That's why he's cracking up. Like, people don't understand how this works. Brent Brennan is fully aware of the criticism that people like Mike and I put on him.
Yeah.
But he's also, like, look at this interview. I'm not going to blow our horns a little bit, but I am. People on Twitter are seeing it too. He came off really well in this interview.
He really did. And nobody else, and I think Jody put that out there. This was a big moment for this channel. Because again, I don't know anybody. This isn't happening any other place in the state. So
yeah, I'm gonna credit PHNX and again, and Mike and everybody associated. We just got Kenny Dillingham and Brent Brennan on back to back. You let me know what other media outlet is doing that.
You know what? Yes, that is called a mic drop. Like a TikTok. What? One of my favorite things. What? All right. Anyways, on that note, though, look at that. Where can they find you doing your work, Scheer?
The Wildcat Scoop Podcast and Wildcat Authority. Shout out to Shelby, who I do the podcast with.
Okay. Now, you can also find me at Iron to Mike Luke, telling people to follow Victor Yates on Twitter or hanging out with Erica L. Day. Again, Erica L. Day, in between the little vapes. Erica L. Day is a very fun person to talk with. But on that note, very much appreciate you all. Very much appreciate you all. This was a great one. We're off tomorrow. We'll be back Wednesday because, Scheer, are you doing post games with me this week? You can, right?
TBD based on Father Scheer. What's the first day? Wednesday night?
Wednesday, yeah.
I should be able to do Wednesday.
Okay, Wednesday, and then Erica L.
Yeah, Wednesday you have me for sure.
Okay, yes. I'm sure you are all mine Wednesday. All mine. Yes, exactly.
So no regular Wednesday show, just post game.
Yeah, just post game. Yeah. And then maybe we have Erica L. Day on as well. Oh, and Ben One White. Oh, we didn't ask about the tight ends. This interview was not as good as we needed it to be. We disappointed Ben One White. We disappointed. But Erica Lorenzo Day, very good. Erica Lorenzo. Anyways, all right, yeah, or just getting off the rails at this point.
Victor Yates, you are 100% correct. At this point,
exactly.
Own the Del Taco.
We should get Victor Yates on the show sometime.
Actually, we should.
Hey, Vic, you want to know something about it, Victor? You were giving me some guff about a week ago, and I messaged Scheer at the same time, and we're both like, Yates is a good dude. So we like you, Victor Yates. We will do this. And so again, be ready though for the Del Taco burger. This will happen this week. We will make this happen. I assure you. Scheer, do you want to come with me while I do it, or should I go solo?
Why don't you just show up to the presser on Wednesday?
Yeah, I'll show up to the presser on Wednesday with my Del Taco. Now, Erica L. Day, you need to take this day off as well, Erica L. Day. So that you can come do this. Yes, it was a girthy day, Brian Blackmore. Every time Brian Blackmore comments, because he's a really important person, every time he comments, I feel like I've made it a little bit in life. Brian Blackmore, we appreciate you. Salute emoji. But we appreciate everybody in here, including the trolls. But everybody on here was great. And let's see here. I'm off and in on Wednesday. All right, Eric L. Day will be recording this on Wednesday. But on that note, though, Very much appreciate everybody, including Kevin L. Thomas, June L. Thomas, Erica L. Day, Gringo L. Billy, Victor L. Yates, everybody. You guys are fantastic. On that note, though, no, Kobe L. Thiel, you're not a troll. You're just Kobe. On that note, though.
You're out of control. End the show, Mike.
All right, bye. TTFN, ta-ta for now. You've been listening to AZ Wildcats Podcast.
We all silly like the mayor.